It's time for a crypto market update, August 16th, 2025, weekend edition. Here's the story. The market seems to be lulling people into dormancy, and a lot of less experienced investors are starting to feel scared. They feel like the bottom might fall out from under them any second. But the story remains right here in the second largest market cap in the world, Ethereum, as it's holding strong at 4,400, while Bitcoin is retraced from 126,000 to 117,000 in the last couple of weeks. Now, for all my 80s kids out there, this is the final boss, right? Ethereum and the all-time high. This is Ethereum. This is about 4,900. Ethereum's got to get by this guy. That's basically what the market's waiting on for absolute euphoric turmoil, parabolic ridiculousness to happen. And while retail investors on this platform are shaking in their boots, sidelined, the largest Ethereum treasury company in the world, Bitmine, is buying $500 million worth of Ethereum while you sit back and watch what happens. And on the heat map, there's huge magnetic gravitational pull up here at the all-time high, where there will be a massive short squeeze, which will create a cascading effect in the market where price will probably get pretty crazy. It'll probably look something like this. Now, this is a high time frame look at Ethereum in this wedge pattern, this massive multi-year consolidation, as Bitcoin's been outperforming Ethereum until we bottomed out in April, and then ever since, the Ethereum dominance has been rising. Now, we are just below, this is a simulation that someone drew, but we are just below this yellow circle in reality, in real time. And when this breaks, that's the likely direction we're headed. Now, here's my take. I actually want Bitcoin to do a lot more than it's doing right now. I need Bitcoin to jump to 130, to 140, to 150 so that it soaks up more liquidity while Ethereum holds the line. If Ethereum and the large caps kind of hold the line while Bitcoin is soaking up the liquidity and going higher, that means new net liquidity is entering the market. And it's creating like this burgeoning blow off top opportunity or profit rotation that will naturally flow into the lower market caps. So while you're rooting for your altcoins, don't just root for your altcoins, root for Bitcoin right now. Root for Bitcoin to go as high and as far and for as long as it possibly can. That's not a bad thing. If your alts need to go into the pit row while Bitcoin takes pole position, it's awesome. By the way, the US dollar has lost 10% of its buying power this year alone. So if you're just letting your money rot in a bank account and not investing it in a savvy way, this is basically your income tax plus another 10%. And I saw this post, built in 1950, originally sold for $8,000, for sale today, asking $1.1 million. Now, this is real estate versus crypto. If you would have taken that $8,000 when Bitcoin was $200 back, let's call it 13 years ago, right? Not 75 years ago. You don't even have to go that far back in time. You can't with Bitcoin. You would have bought 40 Bitcoin. Well, that 40 Bitcoin is worth almost $5 million today in about 7 times less the amount of time. What I'm trying to illustrate here is that ultimately Bitcoin is going to demonetize real estate, because this kind of compounding annual growth rate that Bitcoin has over real estate is eventually going to smarten up money, and money is going to start flowing towards things that are more accretive, i.e. Bitcoin and crypto. Now, that doesn't mean that real estate's a bad investment or anything like that, but it is inferior. And in the next, I don't know, until further notice, it's a great way to earn bonus depreciation for those of us in the United States who need to lower our taxes. Oh, and don't sleep on the traditional banking system. Wells Fargo increased their exposure to Bitcoin on their balance sheet from 26 million to 160 million. I think they're quietly positioning themselves to be a Bitcoin treasury company of sorts, if you will, but providing Bitcoin lending products, business lines of credit, home equity lines of credit, mortgages, etc. You're going to see the big five now that regulation or deregulation is in the system. I guarantee you in the next 2-3 years, you're going to have Bitcoin-backed mortgages in the Main Street product line of the real estate industry. So, do you have a way to acquire the maximum amount of Bitcoin that you possibly can acquire? Do you have a way that allows you or provides you a framework that can outpace your personal capacity to trade time for money? You see, ultimately, money is just the representation of our ability to generate energy and create productivity in the marketplace. What Bitcoin and crypto does is it takes that energy, right, that finite energy that I have in my person, and instead of transferring it into a fiat dollar that the government prints more of and debases and loses 10% year to date in its buying power, I can do more by transferring that energy into Bitcoin, into crypto that has a higher ceiling or higher multiple of value, so that I can scale beyond my personal capacity and the capacity of central banks to print the bottom out from under the dollar. But you can't go at it willy-nilly. You need a strategy. Borrow mine. It's called the crypto flywheel method. Cash flow, creating little passive income streams. I have 5 different ways to do this. Appreciation. This is the most lucrative part of the flywheel, where you can 5, 10, 20, 30x your money when particular seasons happen, like blow off tops, bull runs, and alt seasons. That allows you to move into a position of leverage where you've got more collateral than you've ever had in your life. Can you imagine using the medium of crypto as a freedom tool for you and your family? If you want to do that, and you want to do it with me and my little boutique group of people, it's called Get Paid Daily. You can learn more about it, overview video at cryptoyall.com. Click on the orange buttons anywhere. Watch the 12-minute overview video. And if you like what you see, you can schedule a one-on-one video call with me. Otherwise, like and follow for more.